become HR data detective? Anyone? Director well-being.
There's only one student down there, upstairs.
Okay, great. You are all fans of Google. After this session, I would recommend that please search that in the next 10 years, what are the kind of jobs that are going to be available? And you will be pleasantly surprised that the nomenclatures and the words you would have never heard of. You would not have heard of. There is a concept called as human bias officer. These are some roles which are going to come up in the next decade when you will be ready to work in the industry. And I'm very happy today that we have a right in terms of the roles and in terms of the skills required. We had a little discussion about resilience, and you will be surprised that according to World Economic Forum 2020, technical skills, data literacy is only going to be a basic requirement. The hype of technology is not going away, but it's going to be ingrained in our system. Let's understand from our speakers how the world is going to change in terms of the skills. And I'm going to call upon our first speaker.
Students, can we have silence, please? This session is for you all.
Curricular activities, or should it be additional certifications or something totally different?
Thank you, Dr. Soma. Very good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity for this stage. So, in terms of, and take your question again, in terms of what opportunity, or can you repeat that question? Priority. So, what should be the priority about in terms of the academy and all? So, the priority point of view in terms of the corporate requirement, that I'll tell you first. The priority in terms of the, it's not a technical priority first, okay. The technical requirement is the secondary priority for any kind of organizations. In terms of our organization, technology organizations, definitely the technical skill is required. It's a teamwork. Teamwork is not only you are working within a team in terms of your subordinate or your supervisor. It's a three-way teamwork. You should have a very good collaboration with your organization employee, your partner employees, the third party working for your organizations, and your customer employee actually. If you will see in any kind of IT organizations, the people are working for a different organization in terms of the client point of view. So they are working for a client aspect. Third thing we can say ethics, we can say ethics in terms of the discipline, in terms of the integrity point of view. Integrity is different, but ethics in terms of the discipline we can say, or you are honest. That is also required across. That is on the top. Fourth point we can say the behavior. That is also required. You have a good behavior, and you should adapt the culture of any organizations. And fifth, we can say, it is purely related to how you should be always communicating. You should not work in the silo actually. So
we can talk about all the priorities and everything, but the first and foremost priority is, and I'm just saying this thing to set this floor right, okay? Your behavior, your conduct in corporate world is very important, okay? We are here, and as rightly sir said, all discussion is happening for your benefit. So if you're not listening point, it's a wastage of your time, wastage of our time. So this should be a first and foremost priority. Other priority can be, really train, and you can organize a session for this. But if this, and believe me, I'm just saying my experience with you. I have banned IIT Delhi in my organization for campus. The reason was I was visiting all the IITs and IIMs for campus. In IIT Delhi, you have auditorium where you have to go in the basement, you have to make a presentation, and there's a stairs where the students sit. and group of students was coming, group of students was going while we were doing presentation. And we felt bad about it, okay? So we started visiting IIT Kharagpur, which is like a Gurukul, IIT Mumbai, right, all those places, but we banned IIT Delhi. So, you see, as a senior, this is my duty to say this point as well. So please mind these things, maintain silence, listen whatever things is happening. If we take these things in the corporate world, believe me, it will struggle a lot.
We would want that after 10 or 15 years, you should have that confidence and that knowledge that you sit here and speak to them, that your juniors after 10 or 12 years. So we'll take this discussion forward. So my question to you is for Bhavna. Our Gen Z, as we say, is digitally addicted generation, glued to their gadgets and having a very significantly reduced attention span. On several occasions, they may not even have access to phones when they start their corporate journey. A lot of the students give feedback that they don't get access to social media, their mobile phones. So they're all here. What would you like to tell them?
Thanks for this question. So I think it's not necessary that we always need to have some gadgets with you to kind of learn and then work. I think learning agility is something that one should always display, and that can be seen even without having gadgets in your hand. So let's say if I'm here, I can easily see that if the learning agility is there in the crowd there or not, right? And same goes when we come here for the hiring process, we check that, right? So I think we learn a lot every day from everything, from every activity that we do day in, day out. But I think learning agility, I think is something that you should really keep in mind always, whatever you are doing. So I think that's the point that I want to add here to the question that you just asked.
So in the classroom, we face a lot of problems. Organizations are disciplining them in their own way, and we also try to do that. But somewhere down the line, we feel that post-pandemic, especially, this interest level of learning through face-to-face interactions, either in the classrooms or sitting outside when they are working, it has drastically that connect has gone down, and they are so glued to themselves, and it's very difficult to handle them. So how do you handle the organization when you have people of their age working with you?
Let me just take a small example. So today, it's a Friday today, right? So every Friday we do a happy hour in our office. So we try and create a sense of belongingness so that people, they don't miss any connect, right? So I think when you give that comfort to your employees, when you're with them, every now and then, I think they do enjoy. They do enjoy, and they can say keep themselves away from the digital gadgets that we're talking about here. And similarly, today from 3 to 4 we have a happy hour in the office, and they are not allowed to be in front of the machines. They are not allowed to use their handphones, etc. We see a lot of participation in that. I think, and I think it increases the collaboration. It increases, it develops their personality. It develops, they come out. The introversion is something that we have seen during this pandemic. They lack confidence now. They're not able to speak. They will have confidence, but I think they will hesitate from voicing out their opinions, etc. But I think in those activities, organizations are trying that we introduce all such activities wherein they come forward and then they make themselves comfortable, sharing their opinions, express. Language doesn't matter, Hindi, English, whatever you're comfortable with, but be your own self at all times is something that we at least the corporates are trying from their end to do for the employees. So I think they should be their own self at all times, pursue their passion is what I think she was also emphasizing on. I think that's something that we also do. That's the only message I want to pass on.
Thank you. So would you like to add, because you interact a lot with professionals, would you like to add about how this generation can be streamlined?
So, in terms of the freshers, Dr. Suna is talking about that we are interacting a lot of freshers. So, one change I've seen in last 4 or 5 years, yes, definitely it could be a new generation we can talk about, Gen Z we can say. talk about that one. Yes, there is a change in terms of the adaptation of the technology. Okay, and it is going across, not only the new generation, it is going with the older people also. And it is helping in terms of a different way. It is helping also, but it's having a demerit also. So the freshers point.
By the time they are, ending their tenure, how would you, guide and advise them that to join their dream company, what should be their course of action?
Yeah, see, this is not a rocket science. I mean, career aspirations of people are very clear. So say somebody is an engineer and want to go into design, somebody wants to go into, tech industry, or somebody wants to go into aviation. Today, the opportunities are very crystal clear. I mean, in our days, we did not even know where our career will take us. Today, everything is very, very crystal clear. So students, they have their aspiration and dream very well in place. But the question is, how do you plan to achieve that? That's the biggest challenge. How do you crack the dream companies that you want to go into? So idea, you can build those very effectively during your college days. Focus on those. For example, if your communication is not good, so you should focus on communication, and it is doable. It is not rocket science. It is doable. These are the small things which matters. And sharpening your quality of mind. It is not knowledge. It is the quality of mind. I'm shocked when I ask students very simple questions. Very simple question, basic question, and they don't know the answer. It means their quality of mind is not good. The problem today is that we have Google. We have information at the touch of our hand. We think with so much of information explosion, we think we know everything. Unfortunately, having data is not knowledge, and that is where the confusion is. So, for example, if you are going to a particular company, do show some homework about that company. The problem is, when we ask students about certain basic things like, what do you know about Maruti? So they will say, you make car. That even a child can tell. As a recruiter, I am not interested in that. I am interested in understanding if you are an MBA student, if you are an engineer, we want to hear an answer which is more analytical, which is more, contemporary, rather than talking like a, schoolboy. So those are some of the key points to be kept in mind. So do homework about the company in which you actually want to go thorough. And let me tell you honestly, today some of the basic general knowledge is totally blank. People, a lot of companies do that today. And that's how it will be a win-win for student and the college both. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Add one thing. I want to add one thing in my experience in terms of 4 or 5 years when I visited for a campus hiring as a panelist. So I always ask one question, that tell about yourself, continuous 2 minutes. I found that 99.9% the people, the students are not able to speak continuous 2 minutes.
There is like communication gap.
So how many of us have a dream company sitting here? Do you have a dream company? Is it Daradaki? Why are you raising your hands? Please be confident, it's your dream.
Everybody should dream about a company.
Alright. So what is your dream company? Can any of you take names?
Airbus and Boeing.
Wonderful. Do you know who's the head of Airbus? What is the turnover of the company?
It's 76 billion.
Okay, where is it headquartered at? So this is not just about, putting you in a corner or a suit. It is just to tell you that if it is your dream, you should have all this information on your tips. This is something which you should be having. In fact, you should be proudly sharing it when you are sitting for a placement process for that company. This is just to tell you that you need to wake up. the kind of information you have and you ideally should have. There is a huge gap in that. And that is where we have called these experts to tell you that while you think you have every knowledge available and you know about everything, actually that is not the case. So let's move forward. So my question to you, Mr. Sharma, is, a lot of our university students think that their college life is to be thoroughly enjoyed, and as a result, they are unable to create a balance. It is very difficult for them to then cope up when, you know, the organizations throw up with hours, 8 hours, 12 hours of working. So they are unable to cope up, and then suddenly, you know, you find within 3 months, 6 months, the attrition rate goes up amongst the freshers. So what would you, give them as a piece of advice, because all of them are aspiring for careers in the near future, what they should be doing?
Okay, so let me just, take clarification of question first. So you are saying the students, they feel like long hour in college in terms of study, right? Okay. Okay,
They want to enjoy the
Sure.
and they want to cope up with what's happening in the industry.
Okay. Right, see, I'll give a quick pointers here, right? So, the moment you start your career, right, it's not like long hour is something which is pressure for you, it's blessings, because that is going to help you when putting fundamentals on place. So, if the moment you're joining corporate world, okay, initial couple of years, two things happen primarily. You learn and you delivery as well. Okay, so that means when you're joining any organization has certain expectations from you in the terms of completing a project on which you're working. But since you're fresher, the moment you join an organization, you're not ready in the terms of the skills which is needed to deliver on floor. Okay, therefore you are putting lots of amount of time in learning those things, which is going to help you in delivering things as per the expectation of client and client's client. Okay. Slowly, steadily, when you move up in the ladder, you spend certain years in the organization, you will see the learning things. Learning will be always there. It's not going to stop. Right? Okay. But learning pointers will take less time, and you will have an ample amount of time to deliver things which is expected. And that's the time when you will start enjoying your work. So one thing which I always recommend to all the students, the moment you join in corporate, have patience, right? Have pace, have passion, okay? The moment you will have a passion, you will have a patience, believe me, that is going to help you in, and you can take example of any person. I can give example of Sundar Pichai, okay? He was a developer when he joined Google, right? And he has built one of the best-selling products, which is Google Chrome and Android. Go on Google and check the amount of time he was putting when he joined Google. Today, things has changed. So no, till the time you are not putting time, till the time you're not giving, the ample amount of things which is needed in the world, or the workplace, you will not be able to absorb the things which is needed to move up, right? So, be it your Sundar Pichai or Satya Nadella, you can take an example anyone, since you guys are very Google savvy, so that is going to help you. They were working more than 15, 16 hours in a day, right? But today, their work hours has gone down, they're more on the management side. So that's my submission. Having patience, having passion. Passion is also needed. You having a pace, without pace you'll not be able to move up, because today's global world, guys, they have become like a writing throw. So school, we use a pen where you're not supposed to refill it, right? So corporate world has become like a writing throw. If you're giving them a result, you're there. You're not giving the result, you're not good for them, right? So you have to keep this point in mind. You have to prepare yourself for that. You have to be ready for that. One thing which I always say with my employee in my organization, 2 to 3 years you have given to your education, like for MBA, okay? Give 2-3 years to your career. The way patiently you're finishing a master's, give 2 years to career, believe me, from 3rd or 4th year onwards, you will see change. But today's the students, they don't have a patience, right? The moment they join corporate, they want to enjoy things from day one. and that's the area where they start facing a problem. So this is just something which I have experienced and sharing with you. Yeah.
I'd like to add something here.
See, one of the best opportunity for students to assimilate in the organization which they are going to join is the opportunity that you get for summer internship. So summer internship which you get for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks is the best opportunity to understand how an organization works. The idea of doing a project is not to understand the organization, but that is the first starting point of your experience, that you have to work long hours, you have to slog and take the best opportunity. If that 8 weeks is well spent, I think assimilation into organization will be seamless, and as Anuj has added, all those tenets will be required. And moreover, what we find that it's a challenge for the organization also. It's not the other side that they are restless, but the problem is with the organization. And organization today, the first 3 years is very, very challenging, as you have said. And organization today are struggling, and that is where the maximum attrition is also happening, because there is a clash between the culture of the organization and what the candidate is looking for, because you have a different aspiration, and the moment you go into an organization you feel disillusioned that I had thought something and this comes out to be totally different. In fact, my observation is that the current generation is so restless that there is a concept called variability in work. So what they have done yesterday, they don't want to do today, forget about tomorrow. That much of change organization cannot bring. So students, when they are moving into an organization, the first 3 years is a cultural